16 Funniest Architect Fails. Before we dive right into this video, let's take a quick look at one of our viewers' comments. Strange Mysteries had this to say. Nice video. Thanks for commenting, Strange Mysteries. We love your channel. Now, back to our video. Number 16. You had one job. Is this image making anyone else feel extremely uncomfortable? You can just hear all the organized people of the world losing their minds. The person responsible for this should face capital punishment. What kind of sick monster does this? You had one job and you had to go and purposefully ruin it because this doesn't just happen by accident. You intentionally sabotaged this project and everyone who worked on it. Congratulations, you horrible person. Number 15. Wrong end. How did no one object to this being built? Is this where our taxpayer money is going to? Who's funding this? If you're going to build a slide that resembles an elephant, next time don't make it so lifelike and have the slide portion be the trunk. Honestly, some people just want to watch the world burn. Number 14. Slide of Doom. If you don't like your children, then this is the place to bring them. Or, here's the thought, don't have kids. Seriously though, who's the evil genius that built this little child collecting pit at the bottom of this slide? They should definitely be getting a medal, or at least implementing this design in every park in the entire country. Scratch that, it's not a pit, it's just a shadow making it look like a pit of despair. Maybe one day. Number 13. Good enough. The title of this next one is probably what the person who built this said. This is what happens when you get lazy and you just want to go home, so you end up doing a rush job. The sheer imperfection is honestly enough to drive you into a deep sense of madness and blind rage. Hopefully, the person responsible for this was seriously reprimanded for the horrible work they did. Number 12. Stairway to Nowhere. If there's ever some sort of emergency to occur in this building, like say a fire, then this pretty much has disaster written all over it. Not only do these stairs have no safety railing whatsoever, but they happen to randomly stop halfway down the side of the building. How do you not finish a set of stairs? Better yet, how do you design such a poor set of stairs and have somebody build them? This has got to be a dozen safety violations. Number 11. Undone driveway. Whoever designed this was seriously lacking common sense, and you can clearly tell. The driveway is completely cut off from the sidewalk and the road. And to make things worse, there's literally a tree planted in the middle of where there isn't supposed to be a tree. How do you park your car in your garage? Do you even own a car? It feels like this is supposed to be on purpose, but one can't help but ask why. Number 10. Palm tree trouble. This is what happens when you don't plan accordingly. This is also the perfect example of man versus nature, because clearly Mother Nature will always come out on top. At some point, no one thought to say, hey, we should probably trim the palm tree or it's going to break through the roof. Just saying. The blame should be equally shared with the architect and the local gardener. Number 9. Treehouse. This is probably not the image that comes to mind when somebody mentions the word treehouse. There is a tree sticking out of the side of this house. Who lets a tree grow straight through their house? There are so many questions here and so little answers. What's more believable? A house was built around this tree, or a tree managed to grow through a house? Number 8. No support. Last time we checked, pillars aren't supposed to be disconnected from the ceiling. Is this supposed to be on purpose, or is this not even a real pillar and solely for aesthetic display? Pretty sure we all know what famous fast food restaurant this is. Man, y'all sell more than 75 hamburgers a second, but can't afford to buy real columns. What a shame. Maybe you could buy a new architect instead. Number 7. Sweet irony. What does that say? The College of Architecture and Planning? Oh, it says the College of Architecture and Planning. Of course, sorry, we couldn't see that C that was just tacked onto the side of the other wall. Does anyone see the sweet irony here? Of all the places to screw up the lettering of a building, this here is the best. Someone needs to go back to class for a refresher course. Number 6. Too short. The position of this ATM is perfect for the toddler in your life that needs to withdraw funds from their savings account every month in order to fuel their claw machine addiction. Seriously though, why would you even build an ATM so low to the ground? Or maybe this is a piece of performance art that we're just not getting. Next time, go through your local bank instead. Number 5. Too tall. And here we have the exact opposite problem. Apparently, this gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, work for your money, because you literally work up a sweat having to reach the buttons on this ATM. Either the architect who created this design was way off in their calculations, or they are an extremely tall individual who wanted to enact their revenge on all the people who've ever asked, how's the weather up there? Number 4. Watch your step. This is honestly just a lawsuit waiting to happen. Think about it though. Someone completely forgets that there's absolutely nothing on the other side of this door and casually walks through it only to plunge to their untimely demise. This is some H.H. Holmes type of architecture. Yep, no thank you. This has to be some sort of joke, right? Unfortunately, it's not. Number 3. Out of order. These poor souls. These 3 best friends will forever be forced to walk in an endless upward motion to nowhere. How is this design even approved? No one questioned building an escalator that has one end completely blocked off by a wall? Really? Is the escalator going up or down? Who cares? Because whichever way it's going, there's still a dead end. This is probably exactly what purgatory looks like, don't you think? Number 2. Hidden treasure. Okay, it's bad enough when you see terrible architecture in the outside world, but it's even worse when it's done to your own home. Then again, you probably should have done a more thorough inspection before signing those papers, so you're just as to blame as the architect. Obviously, this window is way too tall, but look again. Do you see the cat just poking his head out from the ceiling? Before we reveal number 1, let us know in the comments below which one of these fails was your favorite, and don't forget to subscribe. And now, number 1. Busted bridge. Can you imagine being the person responsible for messing up this big? This is like following all the directions on your Lego instruction guide and then getting all the way to the end only to realize that you're left with one piece that was supposed to be used in the beginning. How do you even fix this? You know that the architect for this project was definitely fired, or better yet, thrown off his botched bridge.